General Hospital will reveal Michael's serious accident from the explosion at Sonny's apartment, where the fierce flames and blast pressure caused severe damage to his body. Lying in a hospital bed, struggling to breathe through excruciating pain, Michael's thoughts were constantly with his 2 children. He longed to see them, to hold them in his arms as his last comfort in the fragile boundary between life and death. However, this desire became distant as Willow, his wife whom he once trusted, was no longer by his side. Willow's absence was not just during Michael's time of greatest need, but she also exploited this tragic situation for her own personal agenda. Instead of mourning or feeling sorrow for her dying husband, she chose to quickly take their children away from Port Charles. This decision was made coldly, without any notice or permission from Michael or his family. Willow's actions not only showed a chilling indifference but also threw Michael's family into a state of shock and fury. Carly, always the strong pillar of the family, could not accept Willow taking the children away while Michael was facing the threat of death. For Carly, it was not only an act of irresponsibility but also an unforgivable betrayal. Willow not only ignored Michael's condition but also put her personal interests above the safety and stability of the family. Willow's actions were akin to taking away the most precious thing to Michael in the moment he needed it most. This not only shattered the family's bond but also created a deep wound in the hearts of those who loved Michael. While he was fighting for every breath, Willow coldly walked away, taking with her the only hope and comfort he had left. Her selfishness and scheming angered everyone, especially Carly, who would never forgive such injustice and betrayal. In those moments, Willow not only lost her image as a wife but also completely shattered the trust of Michael's family. Willow showed no remorse or concern for Michael's life-threatening condition after the explosion at Sonny's apartment. Upon hearing the news, instead of immediately returning to the hospital to be by her husband's side in his critical moments, Willow chose to avoid him and continue to pursue her personal goals. She quickly turned to Nina, not to seek advice or express concern about Michael's state, but to ask Nina for help in preparing divorce papers. This action displayed Willow's astounding coldness. While Michael fought for his life, she showed no signs of caring or any indication of fulfilling her duties as a wife. On the contrary, Willow seemed to see this as an opportunity to escape the marriage she no longer wished to maintain, regardless of the consequences for Michael and the family. Willow not only displayed indifference to Michael's critical condition but also stunned those around her with her thoughtlessness. She didn't consider the long-term effects of her actions on their children, Wiley and Amelia, or the family she once promised to protect. Instead of comforting Michael and playing the role of a mother and wife, Willow chose to step away from responsibility and exploited the situation to pursue her selfish plans. Willow's coldness and scheming completely destroyed the image of a woman who was once trusted by many. She not only turned her back on Michael in his hardest time but also shattered the core values of family that Michael and his loved ones had tried so hard to preserve. These actions not only caused deep harm to Michael but also sparked a wave of anger from his family, especially Carly, who had always protected and prioritized the family above all. With her decisions, Willow pushed herself down a path that would lead to bitter consequences. Meanwhile, Michael's struggle for life was made even more tense and complicated by Drew's presence. Drew, who had disappointed many when he abandoned his own daughter during her most painful time after her mother's death, was now the person Willow chose to depend on and trust. This was not only a wrong choice but also a profound insult to Michael, who had always tried to protect his family and maintain his relationship with Willow, despite the past storms. The relationship between Drew and Willow not only caused significant harm to Michael but also sparked waves of criticism from those closest to them. Many were outraged to see Willow abandon Michael in his most difficult time to pursue a relationship with Drew, a man who had proven his irresponsibility to his own family. This act not only disappointed everyone about Willow but also raised doubts about Drew's true motives, as he had already earned a reputation for selfishness and scheming. Drew, rather than helping Willow toward positive solutions, became the driving force behind the destruction of her relationship with Michael. He not only encouraged Willow to distance herself from Michael but also created an ever-widening gap between her and her small family. Drew's presence in Willow's life was no different than a silent declaration that she had completely abandoned the core values of family and marriage. This relationship not only hurt Michael but also made his family, especially Carly, feel betrayed. Drew played a role in breaking up Michael and Willow's marriage, becoming a symbol of loss and collapse. What Drew brought to Willow was not support or true love, but a series of selfish, destructive actions leading to unforeseeable consequences for everyone involved. Willow had made a grave mistake in choosing Drew as her pillar, and this choice would undoubtedly bring irreversible consequences. Willow had completely lost her morals and values, and she chose the path of betrayal and scheming. She not only traded the genuine love that Michael had given her, but she also trampled on his loyalty throughout their time together. Willow's decision not only hurt Michael but also profoundly affected their two young children, Wiley and Amelia, innocent and helpless souls who should never have to bear the consequences of the adults' conflict. Instead of receiving love and care from both parents, they were caught in a whirlwind of selfishness and personal calculations. Willow and Drew's actions not only harmed Michael's family but also created a strong wave of anger within the community, where people had once believed in the family values that Michael and his loved ones represented. Carly, who had always stood strong to protect the family against any storm, felt that she could not forgive this betrayal. For Carly, Willow's actions were not only a betrayal of Michael but also a severe destruction of their family's core values. Drew also did not escape criticism, as he not only helped bring about the collapse of a family but also highlighted his own selfishness. Instead of helping Willow recognize her responsibility toward Michael and the children, he encouraged her to abandon everything, worsening the breakdown even further. Drew was not the support Willow had hoped for, but rather a symbol of her loss of reason and morals. The betrayal and scheming of Willow and Drew would have serious consequences. Willow not only lost Michael's trust but also damaged her image in the eyes of everyone. The selfish and cold path she chose would lead to a bitter reckoning. This relationship not only broke Michael's family but also undermined the trust the community once had in Willow. Her actions not only deeply hurt Michael but also left scars that could never heal for the innocent people around her. With Carly's determination, Willow will have to face the serious consequences of her wrong choices. Carly will not only stand up to protect Michael's rights but also fight for the future of Wiley and Amelia, two children who should not have to suffer from the division and instability. Carly, with her decisiveness and skill, may use all means necessary to ensure that Willow no longer has the opportunity to harm the family, even exposing the dark sides of the relationship between Willow and Drew. Meanwhile, Drew, who already has a bad reputation for irresponsibility and betrayal, will be the main reason Willow loses everything. Drew's presence did not bring Willow the comfort or support she sought but instead became a symbol of collapse. Drew not only pushed Willow away from her family but also caused her to lose the trust of those around her. He, a man who had abandoned his own daughter to pursue selfish ambitions, certainly would not be able to provide Willow with a stable future. As Willow's scheming plans are exposed and the truth about Drew becomes clearer, Willow will have to face isolation and loss. Carly, with her unwavering determination and spirit to fight for her family, will make Willow realize that she made a grave mistake by betraying Michael and destroying her own family. Willow will lose everything: the love of Michael, the trust of those around her, and even her future with Drew, a betrayer who is not worthy of her trust. In the end, her selfish actions will only lead to a bitter outcome, where Willow will pay dearly for every wrong decision she made.